We live in a world that is louder than ever, yet our souls have never felt more silent and lost. You are likely watching this because your mind rarely rests. You carry the weight of tomorrow's anxieties and the heavy chains of yesterday's regrets. But what if the peace you are desperately searching for is already within your grasp? What if the ancient philosophers of Greece and the righteous predecessors of Islam left behind a blueprint for an unbreakable mind? Welcome to the ultimate journey of mastering your emotions. Let us begin with the root of all human suffering, the illusion of control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." We exhaust ourselves trying to control the weather, the opinions of others, the outcome of our efforts, and the unpredictable nature of the future. We grip the steering wheel of life so tightly that our hands bleed, yet the car still moves exactly where it was destined to go. Now, look at the profound wisdom of Islam. More than 1,000 years after the Stoics, this concept of surrendering the uncontrollable was perfected in the concept of Tawakkul, or complete reliance on the Creator. The Quran states in Surah At-Talaq, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish His purpose." Imagine the immense freedom in this realization. You are not the master of the universe. You are only the master of your own intentions and actions. When you internalize this, anxiety begins to starve. You do your absolute best, you tie your camel, but then you let go of the outcome. You sleep with a peaceful heart because you know that the pen has been lifted and the pages have dried. But what happens when hardship actually strikes? What happens when the storm you feared finally arrives at your doorstep? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic, wrote in his private journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." For a Stoic, an obstacle is not a tragedy. It is training. It is an opportunity to practice patience, courage, and resilience. This mirrors one of the most powerful mindsets of the early Muslims, the Salaf. Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second caliph of Islam, had a perspective on hardship that could shatter any modern depression. He said, "I do not care whether I wake up in a state I love or a state I dislike, because I do not know whether the good is in what I love or in what I dislike." Read that again in your mind. The absolute detachment from worldly outcomes. We often cry over closed doors, shattered relationships, and lost wealth, not realizing that what we thought was a tragedy was actually divine protection. How many times have you begged for something, only to realize years later that it would have destroyed you? Building an unbreakable heart means accepting that the architect of your life sees the entire map, while you only see your current step. When pain enters your life, do not ask, "Why me?" Instead ask, "What is this teaching me?" This brings us to the third essential pillar of an unbreakable mind, detachment, or what the Islamic tradition calls Zuhd. We live in an era of endless consumption. We are told that the next car, the next phone, the next promotion will finally bring us happiness. But Seneca, one of the wealthiest Stoics of his time, warned us against this trap. He said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." True poverty is the endless hunger for more. You can have millions in your bank account and still live with the desperate anxiety of a beggar if your heart is attached to it. The great Islamic scholar Hassan al-Basri understood this perfectly. He said, "Sell this life for the next, and you win both of them. Sell the next life for this, and you lose both of them." Zuhd, or detachment, does not mean you cannot own beautiful things. It does not mean you must live in a cave. It means that the wealth and the things of this world should reside in your hand, not in your heart. If it is in your hand, you can use it to build a better life and help others. But if you lose it, it simply falls from your hand. It does not break your heart. This is the secret to ultimate emotional freedom. As you navigate the difficulties of your week, I want you to remember the formula we have discussed today. First, recognize the illusion of control. You cannot control the wind, but you can always adjust your sails. Do your part and leave the rest to the Most High. Second, embrace your obstacles. Every single trial you face is specifically designed to polish your soul. It is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. And third, practice detachment. Do not let temporary things occupy a permanent place in your heart. An unbreakable mind is not a mind that never feels pain. It is a mind that knows exactly what to do with that pain. It is a mind anchored in faith, sharpened by logic, and at peace with whatever destiny brings. Take a deep breath. Release the tension in your shoulders. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The storm will pass, but the strength you build today will remain forever.